Good morning, friends and family. John Miller, your Lake Stevens Realtor, coming at you here on June 14th of 2021, a Monday. Had kind of a rainy week, very rainy week here in the Northwest. A little unusual for June. We get rain, but not like we've had. And it should be going on till about tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll get a nice stretch of warm weather, and I can mow my lawn again. Anyway, so today's subject, had a lot of people have questions regarding what's going to happen for the rest of the year. With interest rates, inflation, and the market in general. We are seeing inflation start to rear its ugly head here over the last 45 days or so. And that obviously has a lot of people very concerned. Typically what happens, interest rates follow inflation as lenders will basically start charging a premium or higher interest for that money as the money loses value over time. That's really what it comes down to in a 30-second or 100 words or less. So that's obviously a concern. So that unfortunately, if anything, that'll put even more pressure on the real estate market as investors shift to commodities and things like real estate, things that hold their value over time. And obviously, from a consumer standpoint, you want to buy a home with the interest rates as low as possible. Unknown if they'll ever get this low again. I mean, who knows? I doubt it, but who knows? Anyway. Median value, we just got our numbers for May here last week. The median value for a single-family resident in Snohomish County, $697,000. Snohomish County is no longer an affordable place to live, in all fairness. That all the affordable stuff is being gobbled up almost immediately and turned into rentals, and the values just keep increasing every day, every hour of every day. Every day we hear another horror story about a multiple offer situation or the value of homes, basically anywhere in the Puget Sound. But Snohomish County is becoming a very expensive place to live. Anyway, as part of the government's effort to try to make housing affordable, and you'll hear it, politicians will say, well, we need to make housing affordable. It's not it sounds good on a bumper, looks good on a bumper sticker, but the reality is that process is not as simple as it sounds. If the government really starts putting programs into place and start honestly just dumping money into an equation to try to make that happen, you really won't see any results of that for probably a couple of years, and that's typical pretty much anywhere. At least historically, that's what's going on. Now, there's some short-term things that can happen we're starting to see. Not just Snohomish County did it here last week, about a week ago today, last Monday, passed some regulations or changed some regulations, especially on what's on accessory dwelling units or mother-in-law apartments or whatever you want to call them, little guest houses. They changed a lot of the requirements, being owner-occupied, parking requirements, and they changed some of the square footage requirements from 850 square feet all the way up to 1,200 square feet. Among others. There's a number of others that are making, and this is urban areas of unincorporated Snohomish County. So just the county, not the other municipalities, the cities, just unincorporated Snohomish County or those urban areas. And that's those sections between Linwood and Everett, Mill Creek, or Bothell and Mill Creek, some of those areas that are still unincorporated Snohomish County, and the urban areas. So doesn't count the rural areas. Anyway, I'm still learning about it, so if you have any questions, give me a call and I'll see if we can muddle through it together. If you have questions about putting an accessory dwelling unit on your property, give me a call. And obviously, my first recommendation is you need to talk to the county before proceeding. The permit process and those is going to be, there's still a lot of restrictions, so you want to make sure you're doing it right. Anyway, but that's one of the things to try to take pressure off the real estate market is have those little granny flats or whatever you're calling them, in your backyard or in that back 40 or whatever it is, to try to make housing affordable for people. Anyway, so those are the things we're starting to see. It's going to be kind of an interesting year as we go on. Things are, we're slated to go back to normal by the end of this month, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, a lot of us are looking at the eviction moratorium ending and what's going to happen. I think it's a lot of people, you're hearing a lot of gloom and doom. I think a lot of that is honestly valid. I think there's going to be some real problems. I've got clients and I've met people that are in pretty dire straits now, and it's not going to get any better when the moratorium falls off. I think that's just a foregone conclusion. I think everyone, I think reasonable people will realize when that moratorium falls off, nothing good will happen. I mean, it's not going to be pretty. I think you're going to hear a lot of horror stories. You're going to see a lot of articles, and then on the news and on news reports on people just literally just being displaced and with nowhere to go. So that being said, I wish that it was a little bit more happy and cheery Monday report for you, but that's kind of what we're seeing here as we go into the middle of the year. Interest rates on a 30-year fix, 2.96%. And again, that is slated to continue to increase here as inflation rears its ugly head. Wherever you are, stay safe and healthy. We love you, and we'll see you next week.